And salutations, one and all. My name is Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to our Pathfinder playthrough of Reign of Winter, a adventure that features these wonderful and incredible Patreons as they have journeyed to the lands of Irrisen, the frigid cold north of the lands of Galarian, in order to try and turn the tables on an evil witch queen that is trying to freeze over their world. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of you. How you all doing?
Morning.
Oh, going
Sleepy.
Sleepy. Yeah.
Sleepy.
Well, you know what? It is an early morning. And you know what? You know what else? I set this time zone because I was like, I need some Australians to play this. Or some, like, people from this time zone. Because I do so much stuff for the Americans. And you know what I got? I got half of my table waking up at frickin' more than half of my table. I got more than half of my table waking up at frickin' ungodly hours. But you know what? I love you all the more for it. And thank you so much, one and all, for being here. Now, for those of you who don't know what we're doing here, we are doing a playthrough of a Pathfinder First Edition game. The characters involved all have their own, like, kind of cool stories and stuff like that, and we are about to embark on this adventure. But this adventure is never an easy thing because we, of course, will allow our audience members to be able to add to the chaos, the mayhem, and the fun of our session. So yeah, there you go. Now, while we are getting ready with stuff in the back, let's take a quick moment to thank the wonderful sponsors who allow us to continue to do these crazy, cool, and wacky things. Starting, of course, with Fantasy Grounds, our lovely art provider, where you can see the character arts for our tokens as well as the avatars used by our players come courtesy of Fantasy Grounds. If you guys want to not only make your own really, really cool characters, but also get your own models 3D printed, well, rest assured, if you go to Fantasy Grounds, you'll be able to make some of the most vivid, amazing, and imaginative characters that are there. But if you can sometimes get stuck, as I do, with inspiration for characters, if you subscribe to their yearly subscription, you'll actually also get access to the community library, which has a ton of really genius ideas from a wide variety of people over on the Hero Forge site. So yeah, consider going and checking those out. Fantasy Grounds is, of course, our VTT of choice, which you can see all around and behind me. We use it because it is a easy thing to adapt on the fly with. Look, there's so many different VTTs out there. There's, obviously Foundry, there's Roll20, there's Astral, there's there's Tailspire, and Dungeons & Dragons is releasing their own one as well. But you know what? Fantasy Grounds has always worked for me because it is one of the quickest things that I have used as a GM to adapt and create incredible encounters on the fly with. So that's my vouch for it. So, if you want to buy stuff from Fantasy Grounds, consider, using our link there because $dollary dues go a long way. There you go. Then, of course, we have Sirenscape for the beautiful sounds that you will hear over the course of today's session. But before we get into our story today, let's meet the cast, starting with Kyrie, our would-be assassin, murderer, killer, dealer of death, who has been blessed by the god Norgorba in order to wreak death across this plane of existence. This lovely character is being played by our dear friend Calindria.
Hello. I finally got to murder something now.
That's true. Sometimes something just needs a stabbing. It's like what the old rogue additive. Have you tried pushing really hard on your weapon?
I mean, in fairness, he was trying to eat me. So
it's true. I mean, yeah, you are delicious.
I think I was justified.
All right. Next up, of course, we have Kichiro, our Kitsune samurai and herald of the Baba Yaga in place of the Black Rider, a very stoic and stalwart individual. This is being played by our dear friend Lucas, aka Mr. Game and Art. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
Pretty good. A little sleepy, but not bad. Not as sleepy as Calindria over there.
What were the two of you doing? I mean, just be honest with us. This is public, but you gotta tell me. I mean,
Hey, so I didn't have to work today, so I just stayed up late, and then she stayed up even later for some reason.
Yeah, you're figuring out very quickly that you're not 20 anymore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I learned that years ago, but yeah, it's fine.
Except I do this frequently. So
Oh, look,
I don't learn.
You're preaching to the choir. I just have a personal enjoyment as to see what various things keep people up, because as you all know, I don't sleep. So yes, I'm not. There's no criticism. It's just it's like, what kept you awake? Was it a good movie? Was it getting drunk with friends? You know, I just like to know what is worth whatever the morning happens to be for you. You know, like was it worth it? I think the most not worth it moment that I had was was the D&D summit. I didn't get invited. I didn't get to go, which was very sad. Very, very touching for me to be like, but you know, good old Dag. Dag's got flies on the wall. So I was being fed live information from assorted people, which kept me up because I didn't realize that the summit was a 9-hour venture. So you know me, I'm a sticky beak. That's what I did. So I stayed up till ungodly hours, and I woke up in the morning. I'm like, wow, that was the longest I've ever stayed up for an ad. And that was full of regret. So there you go. Anyway, moving on. We then go to our dear friend Jet, the young goodest of sons, and heir to a blacksmithing shop in the town of Woldsby. This very, very, how would I say this? This very heroic young lad is played by our dear friend Marcus the GM. Hello, Marcus.
Morning.
Good morning. You may need to be a little bit closer to your mic, but I hope that you are well today.
It is right up against my mouth.
Swallow it.
I am.
Perfect.
Closer.
All right. Next up, of course, after Jet. Unfortunately, Neil is not joining us today. Yes, I know. Oh, my lord. What does this mean? Neil normally plays our goblin occultist Grax and brings about a semblance of chaos. But listen. It's so quiet on my stream. It's amazing. It's very weird. I don't know if I can handle it. All right. But of course, which I'm sure will absolutely...
Wait until Real gets going.
I was going to say, you know, before I was interrupted, yes, I was going to say, but thankfully, Neil is not the only person who has difficulties not interrupting people. Real, tell us, Real... played by our dear friend Brune Brassax, a dwarven cleric of Sarenrae, who was rescued by our party from two dreaded Hakuba, and now travels with them out of a mixture of gratitude and a desire to save not only his father's business, but also the world from this evil, wicked queen. Hello, Brune. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Dag. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I'm great.
That's good to hear. All right. You excited for today?
I am. And hi, everybody else in chat.
Excellent. All right. And last, but certainly not least, playing the role of the stern Cromwell, our Asian-inspired human monk who has come far and wide of a long distance to learn what it is to be a hero. Played by our dear friend and wonderful friend, Tim. I know I said friend twice. You're just a double friend. I couldn't think of another adjective that wasn't beard, okay?
Friendly friend.
Friendly friend. The friendliest of friends. Some call him Sir Friendingson. You excited for today?
Yes.
Do I need to bring Neil
like
back? Is that where this energy means? Right? Some call him Tim. Yes, all call him Tim. All right, so.
What Red Bull have you had?
Okay, so before we get on today's session, we have one last person to thank, and that is, of course, our lovely and wonderfully amazing audience. Thank you guys, one and all, for coming and joining us today. It is super, super appreciated. And for today's session, you are invited, well, all our sessions really, you're invited to join us behind the GM screen to influence the game in a number of different ways. Firstly, you can use the channel points, which can be accrued as you play this game, using it to whether or not it's to give insight bonuses, summon monsters, give magic items, whole bunch of really cool stuff there, and you earn channel points simply by watching the show. Then, of course, you have, for those of you who are able to donate, a way to support the channel and, of course, help me get to Gen Con, which Guys, we are at 96%. We are a very short $250-ish away from our goal there. So that is freaking amazing. But for $5, you can get one of these little red markers for our players, or a purple marker for me. These are hero points and jinx points. These can be used to stave off death, petition the GM for nonsense that isn't in the game, give yourself a minor bonus, or of course, be used as a way to roll with advantage, or for me to roll, make people roll with disadvantage. For $10, I will draw from a random series of plot twists, and these plot twists will then be distributed in 3. And the player and the audience member that donated will get to choose said plot twist to take immediate effect. For $20, you can give someone of your choice the coveted golden nat 20, which is, well, a natural 20. It's what's on the box. And lastly, well, not lastly, then of course you have the $50 donation, which is our massive boss buff that makes an encounter even more difficult, or a magic item which provides our heroes with some much needed help. Lastly, we have our secret menu item. The secret menu item is a thing that changes the scope of what our heroes are doing, what they're fighting, how they're going. Normally it's like a boss or like some sort of environmental change. This one is nice and simple. The secret menu item for today is, quite frankly, it will be a goblin raid. That is to say, a horde of goblins will make a valid attempt, or a valiant attempt, should I say, to try and raid wherever our players happen to be. Whether that's in the city walls, whether that's in this small fishing village, whatever the case is, goblins are hungry. They need to eat. And since we're missing our goblin, what better time it is than to just fill the chat with goblins. This will also be a chat versus encounter. So once we hit that $100 mark, that will summon a great deal of goblins. But then from there on in, until the encounter is resolved, all donations will spawn goblins. So there you go. Which we'll talk about more when we get to the chat versus players thing later. So there you go. Now we do have some donations that have come in from our dear, lovely supporter, Schoolie. Thank you so much, my friend. Third drawn plot twist card. Okay, I like that. I also love this, pre-drawing card thing. So
Sitting on the fence.
1, 2,
by
3.
filling up your points.
Okay, here we go. We have one called "What Are the Odds?" So that is our plot twist for Schoolie. What are the odds? 4 big old jinx points. I'm gonna love that. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Almost fully loaded myself, which is freaking amazing.
And a magic item.
And a magic item to be rolled off and claimed by someone. Interesting. Okay. So, here we go. Let's see. Ooh, you know what? I think I might play these off each other, if that's all right, Schoolie. And have your magic item be... Here we go.
Bees.
No, it is a set
Not
of
bees.
it is a set of dice. Okay, let me have a look here real quick. Okay, there's a unique set of dice which I'm just pulling up now. Bear with me. Which will be found in a lost and found box in the police station. You guys can choose who gets it and claim it for yourselves. As soon as this loads up.
That sounds like a Grax thing.
It could be. It could be. They asked for chaos. This is the closest thing you could do, and felt like a boss buff inside of 2. Boss buff inside of 2 weeks would be a bit harsh. Very true. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, it's not here yet, but bear with me. I will find it later. All right. Without any further
I
ado.
mean, once the dice are loaded.
Yes, once the dice are loaded. All right. Here we go. Just need to find the right sound set for myself. Apologies. I should have had this ready, but I didn't. Okay. Our heroes find themselves at the docks just outside of Whitethrone. The sounds of a nearby small watering hole seem to escape out into the cold winter's air, the rocking of the boats that drift slowly in the cool lake not too far away. Vikings and warriors seem to work hard through the dark. Well, through the day, should I say. And our heroes have been taken to the police, the city guard, for questioning regarding the supposed death of one of their fishermen, which Rill had proclaimed within the city streets, seeming very suspicious behavior from a group of outsiders. All right.
So Rill doesn't really struggle a lot. He takes in the surroundings of the street and allows them to drag him along.
You're not in the street. You are in a small
not in
and
the street.
ugly house. It is rather a
okay.
dilapidated and unpainted building with its boards, with the windows boarded shut. Its construction is almost haphazard, as if it were once upon a time a smaller shack, and additionally later things were tacked on and stuck into place to kind of block out the holes that clearly appear all over it. Along the side of the house is a crude symbol of a shield crossed with a hook, and the only painting on the side of this building is a sign which says guard house, and then a just kind of like a doorway that leads into this small abandoned, well, I say abandoned, small guard house. The people that have brought you here quickly put you into the hands of the leader of the fish camp guards. The man standing before you is a rather, typical-looking Irrisinian. Black hair, quite a strong jawline, big, kind of well-kept beard, wearing a lot of furs and leathers to kind of keep out the cold. But by his side are two rather unusual figures. This is, of course, Borga and Wunk, two full-blooded ogres who are giant and massive, sitting on massive chairs to either side of the guard captain as you are brought into the room. There's a few quick exchanges in Irrisen. They look at you, and for those
Do I understand them?
for those of you who speak Irrisen, which Jet you do, you know that they basically said these guys came into the camp this morning and have claimed that fisherman Borvald had been killed. They've just been proclaiming this, and they were acting suspicious, and one of the shopkeepers pointed them out to us, and we brought them here. He seemed to also ask whether or not you spoke Irrisini, and they said no, they speak like southern tongue.
Jack would basically say that he can.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Good. At least this will make things more easy. Your friend, dear, claims that Bolvald was killed.
Yes, by quicklings.
You blame fairies. And how would you know such things? Quicklings, from my
We were
understanding,
there.
are fast and quite devilish. They murder without ever being seen, yet you stand here saying you have seen one kill, of course, one of our own.
Well, what happened was we were traveling with my friend. She is, what was his wife's name again? I can't.
His wife's name is Maret.
Right. My friend is Maret's cousin. We were traveling to Whitethrone here because my parents are in town and my father requested me to come. As we got there, we found a scene. Their son was kidnapped. She was tied up in the barn, and we had to play a game for their survival. But Borvald was already stabbed on the ground.
How convenient it is that cousins of his late wife, sorry, yes, his wife, happen to be so close by as to have been able to save both of them.
Well, like I said, we were already on our way here, and my friend said that
Yes,
her cousin lived
you
nearby.
did
so we
mention
would
that you were
stop.
here, that your parents were in town. What business brings you to Whitethrone?
Well, like I said, my parents are here. My father is the blacksmith of Waldsby.
Well, that explains why your father should be in Waldsby, but not why he or you should be here.
I forgot, why did he come here?
Trading. He's buying resources to take back.
Ah, he came to buy some resources, but then he sent for a request for me to come. Said it was very important.
Alright, we'll need a bluff check from you.
Is that technically a bluff?
So much a bluff.
I mean, okay. Wow. I have a hero point. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, sure, not a problem.
While this is happening,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have Kyrie look at Rill and be like, "You see all this? You see all
That's
this
much
happening right
better.
now? This is why you don't blurt out stuff in a town you've never been to."
That is a
Real.
25.
Real looks at Kyrie and goes, "Oh, I'm listening. Hang on. It's just listening to everything that's going on. Just hang on a sec."
That doesn't sound like real at all.
Alright. He listens to you and he says, Alright. So you have come here with someone who happens to claim to be Bovald's wife's cousin. And you have arrived because your father has summoned you. And what is their story?
We've actually come looking for Seraph and Yalandra.
Do you speak Irrisen?
I would say we can't understand.
Only if you
So
speak.
they're not. No one's translating. I
Uh,
speak broken Irrisen because I've been learning it since we got here, but we haven't leveled up since we arrived.
yes,
so
no,
I
that's
haven't been
true.
able to
In which
actually-
case, yeah, if you have been learning it brokenly, yes, then you can understand bits and pieces. You probably sound like a bit like a Sorry, what was the name you said?
Seraph and Yalandra,
Seraph and Yolandra. Who is that?
the Winter Wolves.
Ah, right. As soon as you say those names, they kind of look around. I need you to make me a bluff check as well. This is a different type of bluff check. Or an intimidate check. I'll allow either or.
Okay.
Rill can understand them because he speaks Irrisen.
Yep.
But at the moment he's staying quiet.
What does Rill interpret from what's happening with the conversation?
Well, he knows that they were told to just tell the fisher folk, and the fisher folk were right there. So he was telling the fisher folk that someone of note had passed away. Not really thinking about his actions at that time.
Mm-hmm. As Rill sort of considers this, Rill thinks on the psychopomp, the creature that he saw in the Land of the Dead, and what lessons were lent to there. That listen twice and to speak once. You're right, you did come in and you were doing the right thing. You were telling the fisher folk that this person was dead. But then you realized, going into any place where someone has to swallow some unpleasant truth, such as a death or something terrible has happened, wouldn't necessarily need to come from someone who is a stranger to them or a community. A good thing might have been to, say, come to a god like this person and report it to someone official so that they can let the appropriate people know, or even a town mayor who could then gather out people to let them know of a calamity. I'm going to award a wisdom bonus here on Rill, as you have been listening and learning. The wisdom bonus is as follows. Basically, any means to make perception checks or sense motive checks while you are in Whitethrone will be at advantage, as you are taking heed of the lessons learned from the Land of the Dead. Well done. Okay. So, with that being said, the intimidate skill comes in at a solid 13. He looks over at the ogres, and the ogres kind of look a little bit nervous. They say, well, if Bolvard is dead, then we will send word to the appropriate people. And we will also ensure that his wife receives any outstanding debts or payments that need to be transacted. If you have passed the trolls, then you have already shown your papers. Hopefully your friends have made sure that everything is in order. But do avoid trying to make trouble in the fisher camps. Even out here, the guards are a little slow to come to any immediate help. So I always urge that outsiders take particular care. And he kind of gestures for you to leave. As you look like you are about to leave, you see another individual who is in one of the cells.
I do a small blessing, but I say it in Dwarvish. It's pretty much just a blessing to Serenray.
Mm-hmm.
For us, pretty much getting through not that encounter with the guards, but more so that we made it to Whitethrone.
Nice, good one. A more appropriate blessing might be to Desna, for example, as well, for travel, if you want to as well. Like, these are just, as a cleric, these are just sort of things. Desna being the goddess of travel. When you arrive somewhere, when you're about to cross the ocean and you're like, glory to Poseidon, please make sure our travel is safe. It's kind of like that. When you arrive, praise be to Desna for her mercy upon our long road, kind of thing. But also Serenray as well, all right. Now, this individual is...
That's not the trader, is it?
Who?
That's not the trader we were looking for? No.
No.
Yeah, bear.
No, this individual, however, is tied up, gagged, and somewhat battered and bruised in a small, well, what was once probably a bedroom, adjacent to the office that you're here. He looks to you with like kind of desperation in his eyes, and as you are walking past Rill and saying your blessing, he uses a momentary distraction to slam against these kind of makeshift bars that have been put up in place of a door. As it hits, you kind of feel like a thud as you kind of feel yourself being pushed away from the gate, and one of the ogres steps back and starts to yell and shout, takes out a big club, bangs on the metal bars until he sort of backs away. The guy kind of falls backwards, kind of like in pain, because you can see like it's still kind of clipped his shoulder, and yeah, lots of bruising and stuff like that.
I'll say in common. Actually, no. I'll look over him and see if there's like any discernible markings or anything like that. I'll just stare at him, and as we pass, see if there's like anything that we might recognize on him. Does he have any rings or tattoos or anything like that?
Nothing really discernible. He is bound and gagged.
Okay. I suppose we keep going, unless anybody else is going to do anything.
I would say, yeah, I don't know if like he's important, but Kyrie is just gonna be like, that's weird, and then not do anything. So, we have an insight bonus though.
Insight bonus. Rill, you notice that almost a shabby cloth has been tucked into your belt.
Mm-hmm. I don't really pay much attention to it. Like I notice it's there, but I keep going, and I like put my hands down around where it is, and I kind of like stuff it in a little bit more.
All right. Yeah. Well, no one notices you do that because again, no one's really paying attention. But sure enough, you stuff it into your pocket and leave the guard post. All right.
So the outside, what does it look like? Is it like a small town, or is it a huge city? Or
It's more of a shanty town. It's mostly just filled with, as mentioned, fisher folk. The docks, a lot of like kind of boats listlessly floating in the lake, and behind it you could see a large pathway that leads up towards the ivory walls of the city and the gate itself. For those of you who do not recall the map of Whitethrone, I will put it up on screen for you guys in just a moment. Hey, thank you so much, McClover, for a hero point for all the players.
Hooray.
hooray! Thank you.
Also, hope you are doing absolutely swell, my friend. Okay. Here we go, Whitethrone. Alright, so there you go. You guys are along the southern edge of Whitethrone, which is just here. And as I said, that path just leads up over to the gates.
Okay. So we're on the southern part, sorry? Or the
Southern part. For the furthest southern gates.
Oh, the southern part. Okay. Yep. So I whisper, I not whisper, but more in a hushed voice. So where are we all going? Where we gonna go from here? Just asking you where we're going.
Well, Seraph and Yolandra didn't exactly say where to find them in Whitethrone.
Well, we're
But,
supposed to fight a fisher folk, right? So
well,
we found
no,
a fisher folk.
I
and
think we've well and truly delivered that message about Orville.
Yeah. But what else are we supposed to be doing? Well, we've done the message. Now we got to do other stuff, right?
Yes. Seraph and Yolandra have nothing to do with the message.
Is anyone else nearby, i.e., within earshot?
Within earshot, probably a few people, but most of them are like, again, fisher people. They're kind of milling about their own business. The only kind of looks you're getting are people who are just not really trusting of outsiders, so they're kind of just scoffing and carrying on their business.
Okay.
Probably a bit late, but I would have been probably just speaking in common
Sure.
instead of Irrisen.
Oh, I would say it wasn't for what you were saying. It was for what I wanted Kyrie. So yeah, she's going to lower her voice anyways, safe than sorry, and mention that they are looking for the shackled hut.
Well, the
Dancing hut.
The dancing hut.
Dancing hut. Thank you.
The shackled hut is the name of the adventure.
Yeah, so we're looking for a way to it. Yes.
Some kind of hut. Damn it. And wasn't this where?
This was
It was
our
supposed to be?
next place to find information.
Okay.
No,
we
you
could see
found
any
out.
kind
You
of-
found out that the queen had displayed the hut as a symbol in the city somewhere. You found that out from the two Hakuva that you met when you found Rill.
Yeah, we don't know where in the city.
Didn't Hestrig also mention something about it?
Yes.
That is a
It's massive.
it was a big ass hero point,
That's the biggest hero point.
and it's all mine.
Is it a natch 20? Nat 20?
Well, if it's on display, I have a feeling it's either going to be in something that is equal to a city center or the Queen's castle, or whatever the hell they have here.
Maybe it's next to the singing bush.
Where's our elk? Where's it
It seems,
loping around?
It seems to be directly outside. It's kind of like following you, but also eating grass.
What does the townspeople make of this?
Where is it finding grass?
It's digging up the
We don't
snow
know.
and chewing at the weeds from underneath.
I dig it.
Bin chicken shed.
Since we hadn't actually officially named him, I just named him Smelk for now.
Smelk.
Smelk.
Smelk the elk. Very well.
That's great. Do we see a large castle somewhere in the distance?
I mean,
Like the lay of the land, is it flat,
I shared a map.
or
with
is
you.
there a peak? Yeah, I can see the map.
It's probably that little, it's probably that ice or the snowflake out on the water. Maybe.
Yep. That's
Okay,
that's
But, like-
the Queen's Castle. Yeah.
Okay, so we can see that where we are. Like, is the land flat? So we can just see the houses and we can see over that and we can see that? Or is there
No. You guys
large
are,
pinnacles?
it kind of leads up to the city,
Okay.
and then there are lots of buildings and stuff.
Are there any taverns that have like a wolf sigil as the the dancing wolf or wolf something?
In the
Like-
shanty town.
Either in the shanty town or in the city.
Not in the shanty town, and you've never been to the city before.
Jet doesn't know.
Jets.
No, this is also Jack's first time. He never left his village
Oh,
except to go hunting.
well, I guess first things would be to find a guide of some sort.
Vril, did you
Real kind
look
of-
at that cloth thing? And I missed it. Sorry.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
Maybe it's a map.
All right.
Maybe
I'm like
Will
half paying
forgot
attention
about
right
it
now, so
at the moment, but now that Will remembers it, for mysterious reasons, he
Right,
still
right,
probably
right.
won't look at it, probably where we are.
Right.
But he does turn to everybody in a hushed voice, still speaking in common. Goes, well, what? This is where we're in Whitethrone, right?
We're on the fringes of it, yes.
Yeah, well, this is where I need to be. Well, it's my family's recipe. It's gonna be here. I gotta get back.
Well, this is where we all need to be.
Your family's recipe is in Whitethrone.
Yeah, it's been taken by nobility, you see. So I need to get it back.
When you say
So-
recipe, do you mean something else?
No, it's a recipe for ale, right? Are you daft or something? It's a drink, you know. So it's my namesake. It's called a Never Ember. So I need to get back.
And you've forgotten the recipe, or you never knew the recipe and you're trying to get it?
No, I knew. Oh, I didn't know it. My dad's knew it. So I need to get back to make them happy. Because then, if they're happy, they're going to stop drinking. No, they'll start drinking again because they'll be happy. At the moment, they've stopped drinking because they're miserable.
I see. And they can't remember the recipe.
No, because that's why I wrote it down.
I suppose it comes with the territory of drinking, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, probably right. What are you trying to say?
Have
He kind
you
of
got
rambles on a little
any
bit more.
leads, more than just the entire city, or was your plan just to go on a like, what do they call it, pub crawl?
So Rill goes on and he explains that when his parents got together some 400 years ago, like they pretty much walk and talk. I'm assuming we're probably heading towards like the
The
nearest
city
tavern
proper,
or yeah. So as we're walking and talking, Rill just explains to everybody, not blurting out everything this time, but he just goes on to explain that the recipe was his namesake. It was named the recipe. His name came from the recipe, and his family, his fathers, have stopped drinking, and they're prying into his life, which doesn't give him freedom anymore. So he wants to stop that. He wants them to go back to drinking and to being all argumentative and at each other's throat again, and
ignore
leaving
you.
him alone so he can go and gallivant around and do what he wants.
Right. Seems like Rill has the best intentions at heart.
Yeah. Definitely the first time I've ever seen a character try to make a character to go on a quest to break up his parents' relationship.
And make sure they're so drunk they don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Let's get two elves so drunk that they end up having domestic violence issues. Amazing.
It's not exactly like that.
A magical
But you-
family ale
It's-
that is
Yeah,
so
that's-
complex to make.
that's what I heard.
That's
Do it without
very
the
much what I
recipe.
heard. That's very much what I heard. Let's get our parents so plastered that they're going to be fighting with each other too much to notice me being an independent. Despite, how old is Rill?
210.
Aside from the fact that Rill is 210 years old, this is a grown-ass man who's trying to just introduce a copious amounts of alcohol to his parents' livelihood. It's like, yeah, why be like sober and content when you can be drunk and violent? Hey, well, you know what? Whether or not
I'm
you
all
realize
right.
it, I know, it's like whether or not you realize that you were raised by elves, but that's a dwarf as shit. All right. So, you guys haven't really coincided your various goals. Everyone's got different goals, but none of you have really really decided exactly what your goals should be. Now, Rill, you've mentioned your intent. You wish to go and seek out this recipe that's in Whitethrone. But a question was posed by Cromwell, which is very astute. What is your intention? How will you find this recipe? Going on a pub crawl? Knock on door to door? It's a very good question. You don't need an answer. It's just a good question. The second information you've been given is that you are trying to find the dancing hut. The reason being is your intent is to try and find out what happened to the Baba Yaga so that she may return and set things right with her daughter, who should have already given up her throne, but instead has set her sights upon world domination. In addition, the two wolves that you had met said that they would meet you here and help you if they could. Although, that being said, you have little information on where they are and, well, how to find them. And I think that's all of the... Oh, no, sorry, yes. And Jet, you want to make sure that your parents are okay. You did not see them upon the road on your journey to Whitethrone, meaning that they must be here somewhere. And one way or another, you should find out if they will be safe, given the somewhat irreputable circumstances surrounding what's going on.
And I didn't get his name at the time, but we were also trying to find the trader the traveling trader we met at the Frozen River, who lent us the tools to dig Grax out of the ice.
Yes, that would be our donated character called...
With the bear.
Yes.
The owl bear.
I've got it here. It's taking its sweet time loading. There we go. The character's name is... Sorry, still frozen. DT.
E.T.
Yep.
So, yeah, and we don't really have any leads on him either, other than we met him at the river, and this seems to be the major hub in the area. So this might be where we could get some leads as well.
Indeed, indeed.
As we're
Kyria would also like
traveling-
to learn from Jekt the Irrisen words for hut, dancing hut, all that fun stuff, so she knows what to be listening for.
Certainly.
Yeah, Jack would absolutely teach everyone, the most common words to help them listen for.
Sure. Not a problem. All right.
Rill would just like to keep an eye out as they're traveling to see if anybody's potentially following them, essentially,
Nope.
as they're walking.
No one seems to be following you.
Excellent.
All right. As you arrive at the large gates, you can see that there are two very nasty-looking customers that stand before the white walls of Whitethrone, 30 foot high, who have the appearance of giant sharpened femurs, which have been fused together to close, revealing kind of like a portcullis in between the large ice wall. Massive skulls of the same bone-white structure seem to be sitting atop the wall, staring with blank gazes outwards from the city in all directions. And a rough road of frozen mud is what you are walking to climb up to this length. Now, the creatures that are... Oh, sorry, no, creature. There's a creature up here. The person who is standing guard here is a female winter wolf in her humanoid form. Not one you recognize, but she seems to be minding her own business. She's on a chair. There's very little traffic that's going through here. But as you approach, she seems to yawn very heavily before rising. Is anyone carrying weapons openly? As in hand?
No.
No weapons.
No.
Nope. Okay. So yeah, she doesn't seem to be aggressive.
Are winter wolves distinct? Like you can tell
Yes.
when someone is a winter wolf? Right.
Yeah. Firstly, this is the woman in front of you. Their first clue is their very, very stark white hair, despite their age, plus their piercing blue eyes.
In common, Rill will just say, "Well, my name's Rill. Who are you?"
I am Greta, the guard of the southern gate.
Oh, you speak common. That's good.
Yes, you are very long way from home, Mr. Real.
Well, Mister, well, that's a pretty prestigious title, isn't it? Well, so you just guarding the gate? Is that all you're doing?
Niet.
What's this niet? What's that mean?
It means no.
Oh, there
A
you go.
guard
Let's say no.
is not here for gate opening, but ensuring people trying to get in that shouldn't be stay out. You seem little lost, Mr. Real.
I know. I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm exactly what I want to be. Real kind of looks around. Has looked at the architecture of the gate.
You're not a wizard, Rill.
Well, she thinks when he says that, it's like, I'm exactly where I want to be, and she's like,
Yeah.
outside the gate. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. You're right. This is where you belong.
Real meant like in Whitethrone, but he
Oh,
didn't say that.
Didn't?
I like look around. I'm just looking at like the architecture of like
Yeah,
the
super.
construction of the gate and things like that.
Yeah, this is giant made, so this is quite well fortified. You know, I mean, you didn't really have the same kind of dwarven pride in architecture that you would have if you were raised by dwarves. So you don't really have too much of an appreciation for it beyond the fact that these are very big, sturdy, and thick walls.
Now, they did talk about their society a little bit, and it seemed that the Winter Wolves were a fairly close-knit community. So,
Yes, you also know they're
well,
extreme loyalists to the queen.
yes. So, while she might not personally know them, she's probably the best lead we have. I don't suppose you might know where we would meet some acquaintances. You may have heard of them, Seraph, Yolanda.
Seraph and Yolanda. What business for us to having you with them? You do not seem like their type.
We ran across each other under some interesting circumstances. And it seems that our paths are destined to cross.
Make a diplomacy check.
Real looks at Cromwell like confused at his line of questioning because those names don't ring a bell to him. So he just looks puzzled.
She says,
Ouch.
"No, I don't think so. That is not how guard duty works. Simply knowing people in the city is not enough to get in. If you have your papers, present them now."
Did we get given papers by anyone?
No.
I can't remember now. I don't think so. In fact, when the guardhouse mentioned it, I was trying very hard not to poke everyone in the ribs and say, don't mention the trolls we killed. It seems like they really were asking for papers.
They were.
How does one go about acquiring papers to enter the city?
If you have to ask, then you aren't getting into the
Ah.
city.
Saw that one coming.
She tells.
Here's our invitation.
Yeah, she says, I wish you luck, however. Come back if you have papers. Or if you want to try and kill me and open the gate by hand. Either way, I do not care.
I'll put a hand on Kyrie.
Aww.
Meanwhile, Jack is just intensely looking at her axe. I mean, being a blacksmith himself, he's, intrigued by the design.
Oh yeah, she's got a very, very well-made axe. In fact, you almost recognize this axe as maybe one of your father's.
Would Jack's father have, like, some blacksmiths, they have like a special insignia that they like burn into like either the hilt or somewhere along the axe head?
Yes, they would. It would be your family crest. That being said, you wouldn't be able to see it without asking her to draw her weapon.
Well, no. Exactly. Jack takes a moment and goes, if it's not too much to ask, I do believe my father made that axe. May I see if his crest is on it? My father's a blacksmith from Waldsby, after all.
She looks at you puzzled before reaching for her axe and drawing it with a clip from her back. She hands it to you, and sure enough, it bears the insignia of your father.
He will go to point it out. He's like, do I remember how long ago this was made? Or if it was like before my time?
You recall that your father made a countless number of axes. You think maybe this is one of the more recent ones that he's made? So another good sign that he might still be in town.
Yeah, so he goes to point out the sigil. He's like, yeah, it's right here. When was this made? Was this recent at all?
I'm not entirely sure. This was given to me not too long ago, maybe within the week, by the barracks leader or the quartermaster. But she then puts the axe back. But I do not know what name it goes by, or the maker. I just know the sound it makes when it cleaves a man in half.
Now these two
my
are just
father is
flirting.
good at making weapons that do that.
All right. Pulling away from the gate, you return back down towards the camping village. Without papers, it seems like Greta, as she is known, will not let you through the gate. Also, the weapon's name is Bob.
Bob. Okay.
Yes. Behold, Greta, wielder of Bob. All right. You return back
Party
to
of
camp.
us, wielder of smell.
Your
the elk.
Your
Smelk.
giant elk named Smelk is still waiting for you in camp, as he's now made his way over to a grocer whom is being quite bothered by Schmelk, who is chewing on some fresh carrots. He's going, no, let go of my carrots. Here, look, here, have these. No one likes kale. There, you munch on this. And you watch as he's then just...
Yeah, you could have had an Avatar reference right there. Could have been the cabin cellar.
Look, there's plenty for them. All right.
Jack is thinking about what she said about the quartermaster. And he says to the party, if she got it from the quartermaster and he got it from my father within the week, that means perhaps the quartermaster can help us if we can find out who or where he is. If he's outside here with us, of course, if he's inside the walls, then that makes things a little harder.
I walk over and give Smelk a pat.
I'm gonna make a suggestion, and it's: have we thought to just try to bribe this woman? Money does make the world go round.
Something tells me that she will not be bribed.
One way to find out.
Well, I'm sure with this shanty town around the city, there must be some alternate traffic flow where some kind of bribery is probably their currency.
I turn around slightly, imposing like myself and Smelk between myself, and this is where I take out the dirty rag.
Okay.
To get into the city, talk to Bill.
Bribe the guard.
What?
God.
It simply says the following: break me out, and I'll get you in.
Well, that's simple enough.
Yep.
But do it
Okay,
soon, because I'll be executed in 5 minutes.
You come back and you hear this. Shh.
Damn it!
She's wiping the blood from her axe.
Uh,
Okay, I turn back around and I take the rag, which probably smells like excrement, and I just I fling it at Kyrie.
Oh yeah.
I said, "Well, there's a message on this, and I got it from the person that in the jail cell there, and this isn't common."
She still can't understand because of the accent. No. All right. I would say she'll take it after glaring at Rill, throwing it at her, and open it and go, okay, so our choices are the giant woman with the giant axe or the giant guard with the giant axe. What did he have?
The two
Stop
ogres.
saying
So,
giant.
so
You're
it was
saying
a,
so
it was a
much.
guy and two ogres.
Sweet. Yeah. So, or are we planning to sweet talk our way here?
This might be where bribing comes in. We could go pay to get him out.
You
I
think
mean,
that'd be cheaper?
that is how jail tends to work. Most likely he's being held on a bond of some sort. If we have the money, we could probably, I mean, unless of course he killed someone, then
I mean, I didn't see any bakeries here, but we could always see if there is any to buy these sweets for this talking.
No. I did happen to find some blue sapphires. I imagine they would be worth a pretty copper piece.
not even a gold, just a copper.
Well, because it's pretty penny. So.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I was
We
like,
get
how
it.
do I do this? How do I say this?
Jack opens up his little
good, I
coin
appreciate it.
pouch. He goes,
Oh,
I've got a little bit of money, but
Who
Money's
has
not an
all the
issue. Let's just
alcohol?
go talk
Let's
to
get
them.
him drunk.
You
Sorry, go ahead.
you take to it and do a quick whip around to see how much you have. You don't know what this guy's done, so you have absolutely no way of gauging precisely how much you would need to bribe. But at the very least, you know that you could make a considerable offer.
Well, let's go and see
Oh.
what they're charging to release prisoners, I guess.
it is. Quick question: was the guard captain of? He was human, correct?
Marcian was human, yes.
All right. What was he specifically? Ulfin or Irrisen?
He is. He is Ulfin.
Perfect. Because Jack knows Ulfin like to drink almost as much as dwarves.
Yes, but Ulfin are also generally Vikings, though this guy seems like a cop.
I'm sure he still would have.
What I more mean to say is you got a 50-50 flip on that.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
But taking Kyrie's advice, he goes, well, very rarely have I met someone who could turn down drink and money. As he pulls out from his bag one of the 2 bottles of alcohol.
All right. You all have what you need
It's worth a shot.
and begin to make your way towards the guard post. But before we do so, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in to the Winter's Tale crew. Thank you so much for the raid, you absolutely manic and amazing individuals. Guys, welcome in. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. We're playing Pathfinder 1st Edition, Reign of Winter. Our current story is our heroes are trying to get into the city of Whitethrone, but however, without traveling papers, they are unable to breach the ivory walls. Instead, they are on the outside trying to break free from a prison, well, I say prison, a very small guardhouse, should I say, on the outskirts of the village. They're trying to break out a guy who may be able to get them in. They're using a subtle plan called bribe, and hoping that that's going to work. But if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in chat. We have a number of ways for you to interact with the game as well, so do feel free to use channel points, hang out, talk, chill. We are a very welcoming community. It is good to see you all. I hope that you had a good time, not only over on Age's channel, but also on Rackham's channel for Dragonlance, which I think was today as well. I hope the game was amazing and fun, and I hope you guys had a terrific time. So, welcome. Also, I saw Rob in chat. I hope you're doing okay. Love your face. And AJ, too. And everyone, really. I mean, it's just how it is. Guy love.
Oh,
Nope, sorry. Okay. Yes. Now, inside the guardhouse, the very, very confused looking Marcian looks up. He says, "So you have returned. What is it now? Have you found another dead body in your 10 minutes since being out on the street?"
Not yet, but we would like to purchase this prisoner.
He
Slavery.
Is he speaking Irrisen again? Sorry, just so I know if I can understand.
he is
Slavery, is it?
he is speaking Irrisen, and he says, "What do you offer?"
I'll push Jet forward.
I was like, Kyria is just looking back and forth, like, what is being said to everybody?
Yep. They are speaking
goes,
in Irrisen. You have no idea what they're saying.
Jack asks him, well, what's he in for first?
I thought you wanted to buy him.
Well,
Just
we don't
pay
want to buy a
them.
murderer.
Fair. He is a thief. He has gone and fished in areas that were not licensed to him or his boat. His boat has been confiscated, and he has been arrested.
Okay, he relays that back to everybody. Well, at least he's not a murderer.
I take offense to that.
in that case, we're not breaking him out.
Jack
Can't stand
realizing now that he forgot what
Trade them
Kyrie
correct.
was.
I mean, to be fair, we have all murdered people on this adventure. So we're all
Well,
murderers.
yes.
Literally murdered
but
some
in
troll on the way into
self-defense.
town.
But in self-defense, we didn't go out of our way to murder people.
You mean
for
you
fun.
murdered the guards
Well,
of the
we
bridge?
did. Yeah, they said papers, please, and we went, here's our invitation, and stabbed them.
No, they tried to eat one of our party members. So
Yeah,
we stabbed
yeah.
No,
them.
you asked for what else you could offer, and they said you could leave this person behind so we could eat them,
Neutralized.
Yeah,
and then you stabbed them.
that's correct.
But
I still maintain it was self-defense.
he basically says, "I don't have all day. Are you making a
Just pay the
legitimate
money.
offer, or are you not?"
Jack can offer a bottle of booze and 50 gold.
What booze?
You didn't tell me specifically what they were.
If they're bottles of wine from the tower that you stole?
No, Jack wasn't at the tower. They were 2 bottles from the dilapidated house.
Oh, right. No, they'd still be
With the
decent. They'd be
thing
quite good quality then. So, yeah. He says, all right, deal. Here is keys to manacles and stuff. I will go make sure he understands. He whistles at the 2 ogres who follow him into the cell. They kind of close the door behind them. You hear some large thumping noises, and then shortly he is dragged out with his manacle, with his hands still kind of cuffed together and thrown to the ground. There. Enjoy your new life, you petty thief. And he spits on him. All right, you have a slave.
Woohoo!
An unpaid servant.
He looks you up and down. He says, "You would pay for someone like me? That was
Yes, Sean Connery, we would.
a lot of money that you have relented for yourself, for a person you do not know. Unless, of course, you do seek to keep me as a slave."
Is he speaking common?
Yeah, he's speaking Irrisen.
I'm sure 5 years work would earn your wages back.
I'm afraid.
Eject.
Yep.
Well, considering that the Wolfen themselves were not the best treated, he has no plans to keep him as a slave because he would not want that for someone else. But he will he will have stipulations. Because Ro mentioned that the note he gave him says he can get us in. Jack will go, I got 2 stipulations, and you will keep your freedom. First one, don't be stupid and steal. Don't fish illegally. Get your license. Get a new boat. Better yourself.
Well, actually,
Jack paid 50 gold to lecture the guy.
Right.
Well, actually, truth is, I don't steal fish. Fish is just cover. I'm actually a smuggler. I smuggle slaves to freedom out of Whitethrone.
Make you feel like an
rule 2
asshole
is
now.
we want you to keep smuggling.
Well, okay. Well, yes.
Smuggle.
Now I feel like an asshole. Thank you very much.
Yes, I only have the fish there to pretend like there is something there. They caught me out on the lake while I was returning from the last shipment. Unfortunately, a small family had to swim to shore, but I was still captured for my efforts. I told them about a friend of mine in Waldsby and a place that they might be able to stay safe if they can reach that far. I can only hope that they did so.
Is that friend Nadia?
Nadia Pesca, yes, of course. She is a very good friend of ours.
Well,
I think she
looks
might have
like
told
that
us to
may-
seek you out.
Well,
Do I think he's lying?
Not really.
well, considering that he knew her full name, Jack will absolutely believe him, and he's like, well, if that's the case, looks like we're friends then. And she's also my friend
She is
from childhood.
she is a good friend to have for sure. You said 2 stipulations.
The other was, can you get us into the city, assuming without us without,
Nah,
getting captured again.
nah, I can get you into city. That is not a problem. The boat might be a
What
bit
about that?
dangerous, but I have a few other ways. Friends of mine that might be able to. Well, let's just say if I take you this way, it is only because you are friends to Nadia. It is not safe for any to use this way. But perhaps you will not need anything extra in order to survive the encounter.
So Rill acting like dumb to what they're saying because he's trying not to let on that he speaks Irrisen. He just walks up to him and sticks his hand out to shake his hand. He says, "Wow, my name's Rill. In common. What's yours?"
He looks at you and holds up his manacles. And I can't tell you how heavily he sighs when you go to shake his hand.
Checked. I believe after he,
Real? Can I just say I love
after he realizes
Shake both
that
his hands.
Sorry.
I
I
would,
shake both his hands.
Yeah.
I would believe that after he said that he was also a friend of Nadia, that Jack would have opened him up, assuming that the guard gave us the key. And not just
the guard gave you the key, and yeah, no. Once you open it up, he kind of twists his wrists and then shakes your hand. I've got to love.
Mandatory
I've got to love
twisting of
every
wrists, yes.
time Rill has attempted a diplomacy check. He's like done the one thing that would absolutely, without fail, like either be so weird or piss off the person he's talking to. I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? Manacled, you go to shake my hand. I'm like, just slap me in the face. I feel like that should be the colloquial greeting. But that's brilliant.
That's like asking someone who has a hook for a hand, "Hey, need a hand?"
No.
All right, I love it.
Or asking a blind person, "What do you see?"
All right. So FYI, we did get another donation, so there is a hero point for everyone except Rill, which has been.
Aren't I maxed out?
You are maxed out, which means I might have to bump.
Do you want to give mine to Rill?
Sure. I can give yours to Rill. Done
I
and
was
done.
gonna say slap it on Grax.
All right, beautiful. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't a hero point. It was a nat 20 to everyone except for Rill.
Ooh.
Oh.
Was it?
Damn.
Hold on. No, it was a hero point.
No, it's
No, it's a
hero
hero
point.
point. It's a hero point. Sorry, I'm reading.
Let's take a nat 20 instead.
I'm reading multiple messages. Okay, there we go. Done. Okay. And thank you to Anonymous for your kind and generous donation. Now, he basically rifles through his pockets and begins to hand you a few things. He says,
Lint.
so first of all, what he hands you is
Sorry, who's he handing this to?
he'll hand this to Jet. He'll hand you a small parchment with.
My Discord just shut off.
So these are. Oh no, yeah. These are papers.
There we go. Okay.
Forged papers for you guys for travel. The guards will scrutinize them, so be careful. Who you show these to. And of course, anyone who you've already drawn suspicion to, I don't recommend showing these multiple times. Also have this. And he hands to you a...
Sounds like what you're saying is don't go back to Greta.
Yes. He hands you a 20-sided dice made of
Sounds
bone.
like it.
He said, this is a powerful magic item. If you're in a desperate situation, roll this dice.
Well, what do I know? Where he actually had that this whole time?
In his pocket.
Oh God.
I am reading this
Being
and
in
I do
jail.
not like the effect of Nat 1.
Oh no, this is just this is a whole bunch of stuff. So Jet, you have the knuckle bones of fickle fortune. courtesy
Uh,
of our lovely donator, Schoolie Eye.
Jack
Given
will.
your profession, I don't suppose you have heard of or know of DT.
Sorry, DT? Who's DT?
Yes, DT the trader. Well,
Oh, DT.
trader
Oh,
for the-
yes. No, I do. I am aware of this man. He has come trading many times, and often he travels with a giant owlbear.
Yes, yes.
Yes, DT is, well, he's quite a well-traveled friend.
Yes, we met him once on the road, but we're hoping to find him again. I don't suppose you know how to get word to him or hear when he's traveling through.
Well, there are several Raven outposts. You may be able to send a message by bird if you can find the post in the city.
Oh. Send it to where?
Well, if you know the name of the individual, and DT is well known within the city, they have certain individuals who can be reached. I believe DT is one of them.
Oh. Okay.
Since Kyria still can't understand, she's gonna nudge Rill with her elbow and be like, "Do you think they're asking about your recipe thing there?"
It's a secret.
Secret recipe,
Yeah.
Kyrie.
They're talking, okay? Just hang on.
Yeah,
Shh.
I can't understand them, so you know.
Oh, you can't?
Jack
Oh, I
is-
can't understand everything.
Nope.
Looks the die over and puts it in his gold pouch, ties the pouch up and ties it around his neck through a cord, a little rope cord.
Sure, nice. You have
That-
you now have the dice around your neck. I would like everyone
Yep.
to just make a note of where this dice is, because it is a very powerful artifact, and you do not want to drop it.
Does he have
Yeah,
to
that-
deliberately roll it, or if he just carries it in his neck pouch and it tumbles around as he moves?
No, he doesn't
I have to
actually. He needs to put it into
deliberately.
his hand and intend to roll it. Even if he drops it
His
by
neck
accident,
pouch.
unless it doesn't touch his hand first, it won't count. All right.
Okay.
Now, he says, I'm going to take you somewhere, but there is much we must discuss. If you're ready, we can go now. Though your elk might need to stay outside of the city. It will draw too much attention.
But Elk is an intricate part of our team now.
Well,
I think
be
it's
that
best.
may, he tends to do his own thing, so.
And yeah,
Actually,
I don't-
Rill wouldn't answer that if he was speaking in Irrisen.
Kyrie is now sitting on the floor
Okay.
doing that thing where you do the knife between your fingers.
oh, the little knife game. I know there's an actual
Yes.
name for it, but
Well, don't stab your hand.
But maybe if we find a nice patch of grass for him, he'll stay out here.
He seems to be pretty fine.
I would say the elk will be fine. We need to go.
All right.
yeah. Just in case they run into any trouble, since it lasts for 5 hours, Jack is going to cast the mage armor on himself as the black scales slowly form on him.
Not a worry. All right. As Ringa, or Ringia, as his name is, travels, he starts to tell you stuff as you make your way towards the secret entrance. Sometime after he came to terms with the loss of his wife and son, I was contacted by the underground resistance group who called themselves the Herald of Summer's Return. These are resistant fighters who run a clandestine cult of Milani within the city gates. They're a good ally to have while you're traveling there. The secret shrine in the city is somewhere deep, deep below the city streets, though I am not sure where myself. Every now and then they contact me, and it's through them that I smuggle a few individuals out of the city. I found a new purpose since smuggling wealth and gold, one that has filled me with, I don't know, just a better feeling of myself. I am with the Heralds as an agent, and bring much-needed supplies to the Resistance where I can. Though I no longer have the ability to do so, it would mean a lot if you could tell them that I must move on, knowing that the guards are well and truly onto my traffic. But I will always be a member of the Heralds, and I will do my best once I've established myself to become, well, re-contact.
Of course.
Mm.
Did you ever smuggle a blacksmith out?
No, I'm afraid I haven't. A blacksmith, no. But let me be very clear on how difficult things have become recently to get in and out of the city. Queen Elvana has seized power from her mother, the Baba Yaga, intending to remain on the throne of Irrisen. She has become paranoid of those who would come and dethrone her, especially those wearing, black armor. You notice that Kichiro, you kind of pull the coat over yourself, but you actually already had the coat there. You can just tell that Ringa kind of noticed, like, through his own perception of scrutinizing you. But it's not easy. You know, you are already kind of disguised. He's just kind of, like, you're doing the right thing. She's removed the Iron Guard from... Sorry, what was that?
Because you've mentioned before that they, that, you know, he himself knew about the Black Rider before Kichiro, just because that's like a normal thing, right? Like common knowledge among the people of Irrisen.
Yeah.
So when he mentions the black armor, not looking at Kichiro to make it seem less suspicious, but he goes, black armor, you mean the Black Rider, correct?
He sort of gestures for you to, like, keep your voice down. But then nods.
Oh, he wasn't being loud about it. He was...
No. As in,
Yeah.
don't even whisper it.
Oh.
Like, don't use the words.
Oh, okay.
At this time, as they're talking, I kind of sit down next to Kyrie, and I just in a very low voice, I'm relaying what he's saying in common to her.
All right. I'd say that Kichiro, you're also in earshot to be able to have that translated for you as well.
All right.
Now, I know that the Queen has also removed the Iron Guards from power, instituting a new military force within the palace. The Winter Guard is loyal to her and her alone, even beyond the Baba Yaga. Elvana has also declared martial law within the walls, making it extremely dangerous to go through the city's primary gates. Traffic still passes through the city gates, but it is slowed to a crawl, and larger contingents of the Winter Guard are performing searches of anyone entering or leaving Whitethrone. But entering the city is not the only problem. The citizens are even routinely checked throughout the city. You'll need these papers that I have given you any time that you are checked. The guards on the inside do not have time to check everyone in detail. But rest assured, if you make too much noise or if you become too obvious, they might scrutinize these papers and you may be in trouble.
Looks at the fact that there is a rat, a fox, a dwarf, and a totally human with them. Yeah, I don't think subtlety is going to be our strongest point here.
Is there somewhere less obvious for us to stay whilst we're inside?
Look, there is a friend of mine.
What was the group's name again that he was in, quickly?
The Heralds of Summer's Return. Or the worshippers of Milani, the goddess of rebellion. look, maybe there is someone in town that may be able to offer some shelter. In town, there is a forger, the person who made the papers that I give to you. His name is Morton. He lives on the borders of the district known as the Howlings, which is predominantly controlled by the Winter Wolves. The gates are to the south, which you clearly can see from here. If you can find Morton, not only may he give you shelter, but he may also be able to tidy up the forging papers you have gotten and make them a little bit more believable. Now, there's one last thing you should know before you...
Wait.
I'm sorry, go on.
Oh, that's right. I'm speaking common. Oh no, he's not speaking common, isn't he? He's speaking Irrisen.
Yeah. Most of these guys will be speaking Irrisen, but don't worry,
Yeah,
you
I
guys
would-
will get a chance to learn Irrisen. He says, there's one
I already
final
know it.
thing you should know.
But I wouldn't answer.
There is a privileged group of Jadwija within the city called the Stilyagi. Young nobles known for their outlandish behaviors and style of dress. Like-minded Stilyagi form gangs and have adopted cultural and stylistic trappings of other lands and people, even some pretending to be adventurers from other nations. With their wealth and indolent lifestyle, Stilyagi are also notorious for recruiting foreigners, even those of other races, to Whitethrone, to act as companions, teachers, advisors, at least until they grow tired of them. If you are stopped in the city, it may be prudent to make yourself appear as one of these instructors or companions to the Stilyagi.
Could probably work.
Okay. Now, at this point, he leads you to a small crack in the wall surrounding Irrisen. As you make your way...
Could I potentially...
Mm.
Sorry to cut you off. Could I potentially try and use like sense motive to try and discern what's his end game? Is he going to try and potentially... Is he just trying to deceive us? Try and... Yeah, essentially, that's what I'm after, really.
Is he trying to deceive you? Make
Yeah.
a sense motive check.
-6. And that didn't work because I didn't use the actual skill.
No, you rolled
Oh,
2d20.
you could just do that and then... I was going to say you could use that and then just add 8.
All right, so 9 plus 8 is
If
17.
you get...
So with the 17, you can't really discern much about him. He seems to be quite honestly taking you to where you'll get in. He seems to be, he doesn't seem to be deceiving you in any kind of way.
Okay.
All right. As you approach what looks to be a large shrubbery by the side of the wall, he pulls it aside to reveal a massive grate. He says, "Now, if you go through here, you should be able to find your way into the Howlings. But be careful. There are a few dangers here that lie within. This is actually a goblin tunnel. Very few know about it, and the goblins use it quite frequently, though they do not like the tall folk using it for their own purposes."
Thanks for the warning. We shall keep an eye out.
Thankfully, most of our group is fairly short.
All right.
I smile at him.
He smiles back. Okay.
That's what I do.
I'll wink at him. Wink.
He is very
Jack-
confused by foreigners.
Jack thanks him and just And even though Cromwell can barely understand it, and Rill can understand it, he's just gonna go. I haven't even gotten used to the weirdness yet, so don't think too much.
I'll look around and
of
I
it.
smile.
Well, I wish you safe travels and hope that we will see each other again very soon. And he leaves
Hopefully alive.
Quickly.
super quickly.
Quickly.
All right.
Quicklings, what?
All right.
The Quickling Yeti appears.
No. Not Michael.
All right. Unless there's a reason why you wouldn't, you take a deep breath in before stepping inside the wall itself as it descends beneath the snow and the silt. You feel the floor eventually give way from the natural earth beneath you to a worked stone. The sewers, from the smell at least, you can tell rise up to almost like sort of knee height. Even a goblin would find this relatively unpleasant. As you make your way in, up ahead, you think you see something dangling from the ceiling. You also see several of what look to be almost like sconces or lantern lights nearby where you can see that this dangling appendage. It's dark, and those of you with dark vision are quickly losing the light.
Okay.
I was gonna say, how dark is it?
You cannot see the
Like-
exit, and it's about maybe another 10, 15 foot before suddenly it will go pitch dark.
Okay. I go. I take out my hand axe,
Mhm.
and I cast light upon it.
I was actually going to do this. I was actually going to cast light on your axe.
All right.
I'll
Well,
beat you to it.
since Rill does that, just so we have a little extra light, if Kyrie or Kichiro will let him, Jekt will cast light on one of their weapons, just so there's extra light for everybody.
Are either of you good with that?
I would say mine are usually like small and tucked away, so I don't know how useful it would be on one of Kyrie's.
Sure, sure.
Fair.
Also,
Yeah,
whoever
Ichiro
is
can summon dancing lights.
carrying,
It's part of his kitsune magic, so he could just do that.
whoever is carrying lighted things in the darkness is going to be the beacon that attracts attention.
Which is why
Well-
Kichiro would summon dancing lights, because that wouldn't be attached to anyone. It could float around the group, away from them a little bit.
And Rill
Right.
likes to be the center of attention, so
Well, if that's the case, then because it also lasts for 5 hours, Jekt will just dark vision on himself. Just in case Rill's light happens to go out for any reason.
Lasts 50 minutes. 10 minutes per level.
Yeah, mine lasts 1 hour per level.
He turns to you and goes, "It's got to last a long time, all right? We shouldn't need to worry about anything."
it's we seem to be heading into the unknown. I will enable Barkskin.
All right.
It's all right, guys. I've been in a lot of dark holes in my time, all right?
Only for a minute.
God. Sorry.
That's also only for a minute. Damn.
All right.
Okay.
You guys should be able to see the map.
10 minutes.
Rill will bring up the rear.
All right. You may place yourself or move yourself as you would desire. And this is where you can see that wiggly thing coming from the ceiling.
Does my light project upon it? I actually see what it is.
Yeah, it seems to be like a rope of some kind.
So it's just on the roof, or is it dangling down to something on the floor?
No, it's just dangling from the roof, almost like it's hanging halfway up.
To get a better look at it, would I have to move?
I mean, you're looking at it. It's a rope. It's hanging from the ceiling. I mean, I don't know what more details you want in this.
I will head round.
Okay, you move around it. Easy. Yep. All right. Yep, you begin to head into the dark of the sewers. Your footsteps clacking on the stone beneath your feet, splashing the water as you move.
Well, come on, Grax. Oh, well, that's right, not here.
No, Grax is there. He's following. He's just quiet for the time being.
What you're telling
You
me
can
is
stay
he's
by
been
me. It's
replaced?
all right.
Hey,
He's
Dag,
been
I can only
assimilated.
see a square around me on this map.
Can you? How about that?
Yeah, I can't see anything except for what's right around me.
Try clicking.
You have
it.
to.
Oh,
I
there
think
we
you
go.
have, I
There
think
we
you have
go.
to click on your thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you clicked on your token?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't moving, because I couldn't see anything.
Okay. Can you see things now?
I can see it now.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh.
now it went away.
Okay, there you go. How about that?
And it's back.
Okay, good. Yep, cool. Fixed it.
Teacher just got Thanos snapped.
All right. You may continue to walk. All right. Eventually, you come to what looks to be a large pile of detritus that seems to be in the middle of the area here. A pipe seems to lead you to the left, and a solid ice and iron door leads to the right of you.
Dag, you're using big ass words. There's what in front of us?
Detritus. It's
Detritus. Pile of junk.
yeah, pile of junk. Found some random junk.
Okay, cool.
Is there
Well, I
anything
like
of
dark places like this.
note in the pile of junk?
Did you say milk?
No,
I would like to milk the junk.
no. I said, is there anything of note?
Anything of note in the junk? You can try to search it if you would like.
Sure, why not?
Cool. Make a perception check as you rummage through the garbage.
I didn't realize that paying for that prisoner had left you in such a state, Jet.
Who knows? Perhaps we'll find something of use, and I doubt it.
Right.
Not with a 10.
Found some beggar's clothes.
All right. It's going to take you a couple of minutes. However, you do awaken something.
Oh, great.
Oh,
All right. A
Hmm.
ant, a giant bug, suddenly seems to be shuffled off as it seems to have been trying to carry something that Jet had tried to move away from its person. It does not like this and kind of flies into a tiny little, well, I say tiny because it's quite big, but it flies into a rage.
You found the only berserker ant in the sewer.
I found the ant with levels in barbarian.
Oh yeah. It's
just for a note, at the end of last game, I used my my channel, so everybody would have healed 9 because that's what I rolled last game.
has that already been taken into account?
I don't know.
Some people are wounded.
Yeah, but you guys
I have
were
no idea.
Yeah, but you guys were badly wounded. Now you're not. Now you're barely wounded, right? Or is it you were?
Did you actually
I'm
drop
not-
the channel into the
I don't know. You can't actually drop it into
Okay,
anywhere.
yeah, then yeah,
Ah.
we probably didn't throw that one in there. So I will heal those ones real quick. Sure.
Because I just did 3 dice 6.
Sure. Just make sure that
in
you've
the
marked down
chat
that you have
last game.
Yeah, just make sure that you have used you've marked it out on your character sheet, and that's fine.
Yes.
All right. Rolling initiative.
It's in my
we
abilities.
have Kichiro going first, followed by Rill, then Jet, then the Ant, followed by Grax, Kyrie, and Cromwell.
Sorry, I just surprised because I never get to go first. All right, so this thing is obviously aggressive and angry with us now.
It's angry with Jet.
Which then means that it's going to be angry with the rest of us, essentially, because we're all here. All right. Kichiro is going to shake his head and sigh deeply, letting go of the cloak again to draw his sword and slash at this thing.
All right. Stepping forth, Kichiro makes their attack. Well, you know. Ooh, unfortunate. Your blade flashes in the dark. There's a swing of silver, but it doesn't hit. However, do you want to use a hero point? I will say using a hero point will guarantee a hit unless you want to do a reroll.
No, I can use a hero point. We'll hit this thing.
All right, that is a hit.
Giant breaker on a giant ant.
All right, because you're using it after your attack, you get a +4 bonus, which brings you to 17, which meets its AC. Deal your damage as you hit the armor, the chitinous hide of this creature, and pull your sword through.
Is it actually a giant?
Oh, keeping in mind, it's not a giant type, so you're not going to be doing the 2d6 extra damage. So that is only a 7 points of damage. Wait, is that strength and a half? What's your strength?
Well, I mean, that's just what it does normally. That's whenever I roll it, that's what it does.
Yeah, no, I think because I remember we did.
Because it just says that the 2d6 is just magic damage.
Okay, so let me just have a look here. Your strength is.
It'd be strength and a half if you use 2 hands.
Yeah. Okay, so what you should have is, so use you'll be using your regular katana. Which, just bear with me for this one.
Is a katana 2-handed?
Yeah, it is.
No, so no dachi. That's 2-handed.
Yeah. So you want to use the katana 1d10 plus 4 slashing and drop that onto him, if you'd be so kind. The only time you'd want to use the... sorry. Hold on. Let me just check that as well. Giant Breaker is it's also a +1 weapon. Okay, so I need to add that too. So there you go. Cool. All right, so drop that damage on it. Much better. Okay, 14 points of damage.
Nice.
With your katana. The creature is angered. It does not like that. It sort of leaks some ichor out of its side as you have moved up and you've done your slash. Anything further with your swift action or anything?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Rill, we then go to you.
Okay. I go, well, you're coming out of goddamn walls. If I fire a firebolt at it from where I'm standing, is it going to get cover?
Yes. Well, basically, you would be firing into melee, which would give you a -4 penalty on your attack. For friendly fire.
And that's exactly the same if I was
anything that's anything that is a ranged
exactly the same as
any kind of ranged attack.
Yeah, okay.
But if you had like something that doesn't have a saving throw, that'd be fine.
Like magic missiles.
Yeah, like magic missiles, for example.
Like magic missile.
All right. What are you doing?
I'm not sure. Right. That didn't work what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't want to drop the character there. Like, I wanted to actually be here. But for some reason, I wanted to do the thing where... Anyway. So I have my hand axe out. So I'm going to hack at it.
All right. Make your attack. All right. That'll hit as your hand axe hits it in the back of the head.
Oh, take that, you nasty thing.
All right. Solid hit. As you deal 5 points of damage to its crown of its head. All right.
Pretty sure that's all I can do.
Very well. In which case, Jet, we move on to you. You've kind of, as I've said, kind of picked up a bit of garbage to kind of search around, and it's still got kind of the other end of this. What do you do?
Jack is going to, do his best to mimic the roar of a dragon as he grows his dragon claws.
All right.
As his free action, and then as a swift action, they get shrouded in the acidic energy from his dragon blood, as he's going to use his full attack to do the 2 dragon claw attacks.
All right, make your attack as 2 dragon claws come out. You need to roll them separately.
Oh.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
otherwise you're gonna roll 2 d20s.
Yeah. Well, the 21. Oh wait, no, that counted as both.
Yeah.
So it'd be what, 7 and 18?
Yeah, so it'd be 7 and 18. 7 will miss, 18 will hit.
Okay. So then, since the 18 hits, that'll be D4 plus 2. Plus a D6 of acid damage.
Nice. Roll the d6 into chat, and I will drop that on him.
Yep. I tried to drop it on him.
That's
but
okay. And
that
is one.
only 1 acid damage. Okay.
All right. So that is 4 points
Sure.
of damage as your dragon claw scratches over it. You realize the army ants actually are quite tough. But it is but a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch. The ant, however, has other plans, its giant mandibles twitching angrily as its eyes search around. It has been wounded quite heavily from the side and will use its opportunity to send its biggest attack against that particular foe. Kichiro. Its giant pinching mandibles come to try and ensnare around you, but miss! But I'm not going to allow that to miss. Well, at least I'm not going to let it miss immediately. I'm going to use Magic's Point. And I'm going to re-roll that roll.
Boo.
Oh, 16 with a still miss. I guess I'm not... He's definitely not doing anything with that. But he does have one last attack, and that is, of course, a sting that he is going to use on the person who did the second highest
Use a natural
damage.
20.
Which, you want me to use a nat 20? I can use a nat 20 if you want, Ro. Because I was going to use it on you, which I am.
And Jet beheaded
All right.
again.
The sting stabs for 10 points of damage, and I need a fortitude save as you are immediately pumped full of venom.
Pumped full. Awesome. As soon as I find it. There it is. Now, I'm not sure if this is already calculated in, but I get a +1 or a +2.
If you do,
for
you'll
poison.
need to add it manually, but that's fine. 14 plus how much? 2?
2. Just give me a sec. I will find it. +2 racial bonus on saving throws against poison spells and spell lock abilities.
Well, normally that would help, but not this time, as it still manages to poison you.
I'll use the hero point.
Oh, yeah, you can use a hero point. Do you want to use a hero point to automatically
Pretty
succeed?
please. Pretty please.
Not a problem. All right, your hero point.
No, I could use it to re-roll. I would
I mean, you can, or you can just
allow
succeed.
the fates to decide.
No, I don't mind. They're supposed to be used for stuff like that, so if you want to succeed, you can succeed.
Okay.
When I say
We'll just do
succeed,
the
it means it's a
succeed.
+4 and 18's high enough, is what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that
Yeah.
then.
All right, easy done. You stave off against the poison of the ant knight. As we then go to Kyrie.
Kyrie is going to study the target, and then she's going to go, excuse me, can she fit in here?
No, you will need to take squeezing rules. Actually, oh no, yes, you do. You can only ignore squeezing rules against small creatures.
Okay, and what are squeezing rules?
None. You're fine because
Someone's like
squeezing rules are
-4.
-2 to your attack.
All right, cool. So that'll come out even. All right, and then I'm gonna stab it with my stabber. Stabby,
Do
stab,
it.
stab.
Stab it with your
Stab it
stabber.
with the stabber.
Welcome to Stab Town, baby. Population U.
Do I also take the 2 to damage, or is it just the roll?
Just the attack roll.
The attack. All right, cool.
Nine points of damage as your blade kind of, when you hit the chitin first, it doesn't go in, it has some resistance, but then you feel it kind of push and then go into the open wound now. All right, Cromwell, it is your turn.
Right. This looks pretty beat up.
Does look pretty beat up.
I'm just gonna have a quick look around, or listen to see if there's like some horde of, like the rest of the ant colony sneaking up on us or something.
Make a nature check for me if you can.
$17.
All right. Now, you know this. Giant ants, generally speaking, do work in colonies. There will be more somewhere around the area. However, you also know with a 17 that killing a giant ant, or killing an ant in general, releases a particular pheromone which lets them know that one of their soldiers has been killed and sends the rest of the army either to collect the body or to destroy what has killed one of their scouts.
Yes, I was afraid of that. Yeah. Right now, I can choose to do non-lethal damage, but do my full damage of a monk, can't I?
You can also choose to turn all of your damage into non-lethal damage if you would like, which will knock them out rather than kill them.
Yes, so I would like to only do non-lethal to knock this thing out.
Great, there's no penalties for that for you.
Okay, we'll do a flurry. Let's see how we go.
That will miss, or at least that will not penetrate the armor.
Okay, trying again. Oh, that must be close. I'll add a hero point to that one.
All right, that one will hit with the additive of a hero point.
Sweet.
And with 10 points of damage, you knock it out.
Perfect.
But what did you do that for? You sure just killed it.
The thing with ants is they don't tend to work alone, and should we kill it, the rest of the colony will find out in very short order. One ant we might be able to fight. Colony, well, yes.
Will starts like faintly looking around.
Let's just say it's more than one ant.
I don't like creepy quarries.
We should probably not linger too long.
And with that, with the ant gone, Jack kind of like
also,
flips his...
you may want to clean your weapons, as you will have it sent on you.
Just rub
And
my
Jack-
axe on the garbage.
Jack kind
Memory.
of just flicks his hands and the claws, and the acid dissipates.
Not actually, but Kyrie wipes hers on the wall. No.
Never
I
watched
can't.
the weapon unreal.
All right.
Well, I think I smell pretty now, don't I?
You clean the blood off to the best of your abilities. There are 3 paths before you. One to the right, one to the north, and one to the east. Sorry, one to the west.
Well, with for a lack of better directions, I suggest we go left.
With no objection, you begin to make your way along the western corridor. The water begins to get thick and more difficult to move through as you travel.
I look at everybody and I go, well, is anybody hurt? Is anybody gravely wounded or anything like that?
No, I don't think anybody got hurt.
So
Well,
did you say that it looks like this has not traveled much?
Yes, it looks like it hasn't been traveled. Well, no, sorry, no. It just looks like it's just old. It's been there for ages.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Any objections? Otherwise, let's keep moving.
No objection.
Nope.
Rill kind of does his best to bandage up his stinger wound, his puncher.
All right. The water continues to increase until it's about up to your neck, and you're basically treading water. As this happens, I need everyone to make me a perception check.
Do I still get advantage?
Water goblins.
Perception for what was the advantage on?
Because I'm in Whitethrone.
No, that was for diplomacy checks and to sense motive on
Oh.
people. Yeah.
Oh,
Are we
diplomacy, I thought it was
still
on
in
No,
cold
as in,
weather?
perception.
Like during conversations, it's like you're observing people's conversations, so observing their behaviors and stuff, not just in general. Sorry, what was that?
Are we still in cold weather?
Yeah, I'd say you're still in cold weather. The water is chilly, to say the least.
I look towards the roof and I see if there's any more ropes or anything hanging down.
There are not. All right.
Rill is relieved.
Who is the largest party member here?
Good question. Who do you believe who do you believe the largest party member is?
By largest,
Well,
I
I'm
mean
not fat.
tallest.
I'm big boned.
I mean tallest.
I believe that would
Because if
be
everyone else is up
Ichiro.
to their neck, I have to imagine that I'm worse off.
Yep, you'll need
You're
to
Well,
make
I'm
a
probably
swim check.
swimming.
I am 4 feet
No.
tall.
I was gonna say I would like to straight up try to climb onto somebody's back, but I will make a swim check first.
Sure, Real,
Climb
you'll
the
also need a
walls.
swim check.
Awesome.
And so will Grax, but we'll deal with that when he's here and he can fail on his own.
Oh,
Well.
Oof.
I drowned.
You are
Yeah,
you
you
well
drown.
well it's not just your athleticism, but also because you're covered in fur, it is very quick for you to gather fur and sink beneath the cold water. Unfortunately, that is quite a substantial failure, meaning you disappear under the water, but everyone does see you do so. All right, what next?
I reach
Jack-
for her.
You'll have to go underwater. You're again, like I said, you're also quite short. So you can make another.
Sure.
Well,
So you can make another swim check, Rill. Nice. All right. You swim down, you reach out, and you grab hold
What a waste.
of Kyrie, and you begin to swim back up with her kind of like grabbed onto your shoulder and your back as you're kind of swimming on the top of the water now with her on your back.
What a waste. I'm saving people. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
And Kyrie will go, will thank him and then say, also, I changed my mind. I object.
Well, there's no time for that now, and we keep going forward.
All right. As you head forward with the perception checks that everyone made, you guys will not hear what is approaching. But you do hear...
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing approaching.
But you do hear...
You hear that? I don't hear anything.
It's
Which
just
is
your
in and of
imagination,
itself
Will.
Oh,
suspicious.
that's okay. I can wait. It's fine.
I hear nothing but the splashing of water and the coughing of a rat person. And the moaning and complaining of her.
Of a DM.
I'm not
No,
complaining.
I said a rat person. My God, I'd never complain. Ever.
Did you want us to keep moving?
No. I'm just waiting to tell you when you die.
Yeah, so he's waiting for us all to shut up so he can tell us what's coming.
I mean, but he also always yells at us when we're all quiet for too long. So
No, no. That's
Yeah,
never.
but he
Trust me,
was
that's,
clearly in the
that
middle
is
of
never
starting to
the
explain.
case. Whenever you're asked a question and none of you have anything to say, and when you're asked to go somewhere and no one has anything to go, no one has anywhere to go, that's one thing. When you've got nothing to do and nothing to say, and then you're saying stuff, see, it's like it's a balancing act. It's taking the energies.
I do
God
have
damn it,
one
keep your-
question.
Shut up.
Can
He's
I-
always so loud.
I do have one question first.
Sure.
Can I have climbed onto Cromwell now?
You wish to have
That I have
climbed
been
onto
pulled
Cromwell.
from beneath the murky depths? Yes,
Pen-
so I don't drown again.
well, right now you're riding Rill, so it depends on both of them as to whether or not Rill will swim up to Kichiro, and whether or not Kichiro will allow you to do so.
Cromwell. But yes.
Oh, sorry, Cromwell. Yes.
I will allow it.
Yes.
It'll give my hands free then, so I can swim properly.
Yes. Climb up and
Sweet.
try to keep your head above the water, Kichiro. I know that armor looks quite heavy.
Excellent. Good. Now,
I go, here you go, hang on to this.
Now, I was going to roll randomly to see who feels the wrath of our cliffhanger for this evening, but I feel as though the obvious answer is obvious.
Grax.
It's definitely Grex. No, I'll roll randomly. All right. Kyrie.
Randomly rolled Grax.
Yeah, randomly roll Grax. Kyrie is 1, Kichiro is 2, Jet is 3, Grax is 4, Rill is 5, and Cromwell is 6. Let's see how we go.
5.
3,
Here we go.
Jet.
Come on. Damn it.
Oh, great.
Close to Grax.
All right.
I did good this game.
You did. But fair is fair. All right.
It is.
So, Jet, as you're watching the others, treading water as best you can, all of a sudden, a giant set of jaws erupt from the water beneath you.
Oh.
Hey, we also happen to leave just enough space between us and Jet for it to pop up between the
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh, that is big.
Oh yeah, that is big.
That's a chunky boy right there.
It opens its jaws,
Bye, Jet.
Bye.
His name's Trevor.
and as it hits Jet,
Ooh.
Jet, you take 23 points of damage
Holy shit.
Ooh.
And-
Is he dragged into a roll?
and are immediately grappled.
He is.
In addition to being grappled, you are immediately swallowed and sent.
That's a big crocodile.
And
This is the second
second time you've
I was
been
gonna say,
eaten.
this is a theme
this,
with you.
the second character that has been forward. Third.
For further
Third,
distraction, the rest of the
because-
group continues forward.
This
Yeah, we
is
didn't hear anything.
actually this is the third because in Curse of Strahd, my character got eaten by the mimic.
That's true. You were eaten.
I
by the
will
minute.
collect.
That's true. That's true.
I will collect Jet in a bottle later.
All right. But as the jaws opened, and you odd
Oh,
bandicoot.
oh, oh.
Oh,
right. Hold on. Bandicoot. It's too fine.
Can you divine
watching
intervention a cliffhanger?
You can, technically speaking. All right. Actually, I'll lend this as well. Odd Bandicoot, if you want, I'll also allow you to redirect the attack. I'll re-roll the d6 as well. Do you want me to re-roll the d6 or go just against Jet again? What's your call? Because it's a cliffhanger one, I feel like it's got to be worthwhile. Also, while we're taking a break, guys from Corsairs Cove, welcome in. Avast ye mateys, welcome. My name's Michael, the Deadlands Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. We're actually very close to the end of our game today. Long story short, a crocodile is eating one of our players. Re-roll it. Okay, we're gonna re-roll the d6.
We can have Bandicoot re-roll as well.
Yeah, you know what, Bandicoot?
If you want.
Exclamation D6 in chat. Let us know who's gonna get chomped on, and then we'll find that out. But yes, folks from Corsairs Cove, thanks for coming and hanging out. I do TTRPGs here on my channel, and a bunch of cool and fun stuff.
5.
Josh the Pirate, sounds like fun. Thanks, man. Yeah, big crocodile.
Me again! Yes! I was hoping for this outcome.
There's just no saving you, mate. All right, Jet again has received the result. Guy spent a good portion of the game inside of a manta ray. Well, there you go. My guys are spending the day inside of a crocodile. All right. Why is it 2 attacks?
As we're moving forward,
let me try
I
that
turn
again.
around and go.
Sorry, let me try that again because I don't know why.
It's somewhere else we're supposed to be missing.
It's only rolling twice, and I don't know why. But that's fine.
Well, they're all hitting though, so.
Yeah, they're all hitting. Okay. Yeah, look. Jet, you get
35.
Okay.
35 and a 32.
Okay. You guys are okay, so you are getting smacked around, you are getting chomped, and you are getting swallowed. And that is the cliffhanger for today, but there is another cliffhanger. There's one more cliffhanger, and that is you guys will get to level up.
Hey.
Yeah. Woo.
Now, really, are you here
So
now?
that means our hit points are restored?
No. It's not a video game.
Aw.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us today on this whirlwind adventure. Our characters managed to interact a couple of times, buy a slave, and sneak into the sewers. So we have lots of stuff that is currently happening, and it has been an absolute freaking blast. You know what? While we're getting everything packed down and looking for a raid, guys, I'm going to invite the raiders here to an open forum. Here we go. This is something special for the raiders because I don't like leaving when a raid comes in, okay? So here's something for everyone. For the next, like, let's say 5 minutes or so, I want to just say, if anyone has any questions regarding Dungeons & Dragons, the D&D movie, no spoilers, of course, you know, Pathfinder in general, or even questions about the story or adventure, ask it in chat now while we look for our next raid target, and we will answer them to the best of our abilities. So there you go. You got a little tiny Q&A session here. It can be anything at all, and, you know, related to the game, not related to the game, what's my favorite dice, you know, all the stuff, I will answer it. There you go. Meanwhile, however, I'd like to say that everyone has leveled up. The Knuckle Bones of Fickled Fortune is a 20th level artifact, FYI. So that means it was created by a level 20 character. This thing is super powerful. So definitely use it sparingly and with caution. That is the CR. What is the CR of an unladen swallow?
The person
that is a
that
CR.
has it, they got eaten.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. He has been eaten. The CR of an unladen swallow is CR 1/16. That is CR 1/16. There you go. Suggested game for new DMs and players. Well, look, Dungeons & Dragons is a nice classic. D&D 5th edition is nice, simple, elegant, and easy, and very, very good for introducing new people to that game. I also recommend games by Powered by the Apocalypse, because those are also very simple and very compatible with a number of different games. It's a 2d6 system, so it's very easy to get into. Or, alternatively, and this is a, I don't know if this is a popular idea, but, you know, it's an idea, is there's a ton of one-page RPGs that are done by an author whose name escapes me right now. But, like, it's, like, things like Honey Heist and stuff like that. That's always a really, really good one as well. So, in theory, Walter could take on 48 of them. I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, at most they do 1 point of damage, but then you've got to realize that 2 of them crit every round, which means you're going to be taking at least a minimum of 4 damage a round, which if a whole horde of them attack you and you can't kill 48 in that period of time, then yeah, at least 8 rounds later, you'll have taken 16 points of damage. It's actually, there's a mathematical equation that was done in D&D 3.5 that says a town of villagers could legitimately be killed by a domestic household cat. Before the villagers could kill the cat, which is very weird. When do we get to play through the breach? Likely when we have enough people missing to run a one-shot. And then we'll do a one-shot. Have to lurk again. No worries, Bandicoot. Thanks for coming. Thanks for lurking. Quickest TPK in terms of sessions played before death. I don't think I have. I think the quickest TPK I ever experienced was in session 1 of Descent into Avernus. Our characters legitimately straight up just started the game on the gallows, and we were all hung. We died, and it ended up going to hell. So, I mean, that was probably my quickest TPK. Tony the Ticker, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Look at all these beautiful new faces. Mwah, absolutely wonderful. Thank you. All right. Any other TTRPG questions or questions in general? What is the meaning of life? Anything at all? Feel free.
To play this.
The meaning of life is to play things. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a good.
Yeah, play this.
It is definitely a good meaning of life, to be sure.
Yeah, 42. Yeah, that's what it's
42.
supposed to be.
That's also a good one. I would say this. I think the meaning of life is to journey upon it, and the purpose is to constantly be looking for a meaning to life. If one eventually finds that meaning to life, they receive what's called contentment, at which point the end of their life begins, as they slowly enjoy that contentment to the point where that is the last thing that they do. That's my feeling towards it. It's why when you find out that people like who retire and stop working tend to live shorter lives than people who work for like their lives. It's very weird, but it's a thing. It's a thing that happens. There you go. No worries. Thank you, McClover. All right, we are going to be rating Questline D&D. We've encountered Questline D&D a few times. Quincy's Tavern and Ice Cream Sandwich have done stuff with them before. So we're going to go right into them as they play some Dungeons and Dragons. Meaning of life is to walk a path with people and enjoy and share experiences. Amen, brother. That is beautifully said. And tormenting DMs. Always tormenting DMs. Yep. Thank you. All right, guys. Stay safe. Stay wonderful. Be kind to each other because, hey, we all deserve it. And till we meet again, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Good night.
Bye.